One of the things too is this is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. And before in my life, and I'm sure it's the same with Pam and Stella, when anything really awful happened to you, they were there. So now it's the people that would have helped you most, or the people that we need most, and they're not there. So it's something like a double thing.
And what do you feel now about those people who carried out that outrage? The people who murdered your mother?
Well, I actually don't think of them very much. I mean, sort of compared to how much I think about her, they occupy a very small sort of section of my thoughts. But I do feel sorry for anybody that could do that. And I think they haven't had the love and example that I've had. At least I feel that they couldn't have had and done that. And I feel sorry for them. I wish they would stop, because I don't want this sort of thing to keep on happening to other people. I try not to hate them. I mean, hating them wouldn't do me any good, and it just wouldn't do anything. And my father always used to tell me you should never hate people, just the things they do. So I do. I hate what they do, and I feel I should be allowed to hate what they do, but I try not. I try to disassociate the people with the act.
Can you forgive them?
If I really believed that the people that did this were genuinely sorry, and sorry they had tried to kill anybody, not just the fact that they didn't get people in uniforms, if I really believed that they were genuinely sorry and that they weren't going to do it again, and that they would give all the information they had to the security forces to do whatever they could to stop this, then I hope I would forgive them. But that's what I require of them before I could.
Pam, can I ask you, do you feel bitter about what happened?
I try not to feel bitter, and I try not to think too much of people that killed my parents, because my thoughts are all taken up with memories of my mother and father, who I love and miss very much. And I've no place in my thoughts for those evil people.
Stella, what about you? Can you forgive the IRA for what they did?
I don't think I can.
Can you, Pam?
No. I don't think anybody would expect me to forgive somebody who murdered my parents, because they've never said they're sorry to me, and they've still killed so many people since November and left so many other families in the same way we are now, without a father, without a mother or a brother, and I can't see it ever ending. I can't see them ever being sorry.
What was your reaction when they apologised and said it was a mistake?
It just made me sick. Because if it had been all policemen or soldiers, they wouldn't have said they regretted it. But because they thought it was civilians, as they call them, they thought they were innocent. But they don't seem to realise that all the people they kill are innocent.
What was your reaction when you heard that Gordon Wilson had forgiven the IRA for murdering his daughter, and the fact that it was carried so extensively on the media?
Well, I thought it was very wrong of the media they seemed to assume that that was what everybody felt, and it was sort of quite frustrating not to get the chance to say that I don't go along with that. Because I say it's not even that I think that forgiving them is something that I should aim for. I think not hating them is something I should aim for. But I do not see the point of forgiving them when they're going to kill other people.
I couldn't understand how he could say he forgive them. Because at that time I know, and now I know I still don't forgive them. But that's his opinion and that's how he feels. But at the time the media made it seem as if we all felt like that, which was wrong.
This is one thing I would like
Sure.
to say in that. I mean, I am glad when the thing happened, something that would have made it so much worse was if anybody had decided to go to some crossroads in some Republican area of Belfast and just pop off a few people at random and say that they were doing that in retaliation for Enniskillen. And so in the sense that if maybe what Gordon said calmed down the situation, I'm very glad of that. But I think none of us, if given the chance, would have called for retaliation anyway.
No,
I don't think anybody would have wanted
we
that.
wouldn't want to put anyone else through what we're going through.
Nobody does that sort of thing in our parents' name.
No.
Stephen Ross was the youngest to suffer severe injuries at Enniskillen. His sister Catherine was less seriously hurt in the blast. Stephen's injuries, including a shattered skull and a split palate, were widely publicised at the time, and he received hundreds of greetings from well-wishers around the world.
I'm still not 100% at the moment. My leg still gives me a lot of bother after a hard day, in particular if I was at school. It would give me a lot of trouble. I have a lot of pain, and it'll probably be years before it's totally gone. It might never go.
And in what way are you restricted now?
Well, I won't be able to play football and rugby. I'm not really sure when I'll be able to do sport. I'm really very limited to what sort of activities I can do. I'm really only swimming and fishing, a bit of fishing. That's really all I can do. I used to play quite a lot of football and rugby, but I won't be able to do that now.
How did it affect your school life? Because you must have been in hospital for quite a while.
Well, it did an awful lot of damage to my schoolwork. It sort of set me back an awful lot, and as a result, I either had to repeat the year or else work very hard, and I chose to work very hard, and it's paid off. I did 5 GCSEs in June, and I've another 2 to do in November.
So you've had to study during the summer period?
Yes, I've been studying very hard over the last few months to make up the work that I've missed.
What's your feelings about those people who carried out the outrage at Enniskillen? Do you feel bitter in any way? Can you forgive the people?
Well, I don't really feel bitter. There's no point really in feeling bitter, and I don't really know these people, so I can't forgive them at the moment because I don't know who to forgive. I don't really know.
But if you did know them, would you forgive them?
Yes, well, it's not up to me to judge. They'll be judged themselves in the day of judgment. It's not for me to judge them and what they did.
Catherine, how long were you in hospital?
I was in hospital for a week.
And any lasting after effects, any scars or anything like that?
Well, just a couple of scars. I was very badly bruised, and my balance was gone, but I've got it back now.
What sort of emotions are you going through as we come up to the anniversary?
Well, we really reach out to others, and we think of those who live daily with the loss of their loved ones. We realise that we are privileged to have been spared our children, and we feel for sad homes. Our hearts go out to people who are hurt.
Gordon Wilson at the time forgave those who murdered his daughter. Do you think that he was speaking for many people when he said that?
I really think the Lord gave Gordon Wilson a message for the people that this is his way. This is the way he taught when he was here on earth, that we are to forgive those who hurt us. It isn't easy. I don't find it easy. It's something I have to pray about daily.
Do you feel in any way bitter about what happened to Stephen, what he had to go through?
Sometimes I feel hurt that my child has had to suffer so much and has been left with injuries, but on the other hand, I'm thankful to God for sparing his life.
At the time, Enniskillen was supposed to be the dawning of a new era in which the two communities would come together. There would be peace and reconciliation. Do you think that is the case here in Enniskillen?
Well, I really feel that the people who were friendly are still friendly. I think that Roman Catholic and Protestant people get on well together, and I feel that the families just that were friendly remain friendly. I wouldn't say relationships have taken on a new era or anything like that, but I would think that it hasn't done anything to diminish our love for each other.
You wouldn't say relations between the two communities are strained in any way?
No, I definitely wouldn't say that, no.
But you're talking about feelings of hurt. Any other emotions?
Exhaustion, certainly. Physically and mentally exhausting. Feelings of how we were going to actually cope with everyday life. Everyday life became a struggle because we seemed to be so physically worn down, and I think the shock takes it out of your system.
How long did the initial period of shock last?
I would roughly say we felt under the weather for about 7 months. Maybe even 8 months we felt maybe at our worst, that short period of time. We felt so exhausted and strained.
Do you feel that you're over it now?
Well, I think it has left us just a little bit irritable and edgy. I think it just takes its toll on you.
Do you think that once you get the remembrance service over with, that everything will start to fall into place more and more?
Well, I don't really. Just take a day at a time is really what I do. I don't think about beyond tomorrow. I have become constantly aware that each day is in the Lord's hands, and I have no power over it, really.
Years ago, I remember my mother showing me a picture in a newspaper about 3 wee boys at their father's funeral, and she was very upset about it. That was, I think, the thing that upset her most, was children being left without daddies. And she just put this over to me, and she said, wouldn't you think if anybody would have, all they'd have to do would be look at those poor wee faces, and they'd have never have anything to do with the IRA again. And I didn't realise at the time that she'd thought so much about it and felt so much for them that she'd cut it out. And I say I didn't know until after she had died, and I was looking through her stuff, and I came across this wee clipping.
And what does it mean to you?
Well, it's just the fact, the sympathy that she had for this happening to somebody else, and she never had the slightest idea that that was going to happen to her.